Hello, folks. So, I'm going to try an experiment. I've been dealing with LUTs. Now, I'm using the Intel iMac 2017. It has 64 gigs of RAM. Intel processor, I think it's the i77 or i7600. Okay, so it's not top line 7700K, but it doesn't overheat that much. Um, I've tried doing a fan and stuff, and it brought it down like 6 degrees, but it was too much noise. I recorded a C-Log video, and it stutters real bad on here. You know, when you get the 10-bit footage, this machine doesn't like it. That's why everybody's gone to the M1, M2, M3, going to come out shortly. But anyway, this is the R10 RF 16 millimeter. You cannot apply a LUT to this camera, but it's just to show you what the colors are out of the camera. Okay, it looks good. I think I got it on either fine or portrait. I can't remember, but anyway, it looks good. In fact, since I'm recording, yeah, it's on auto. Okay, clarity is at 0. White balance is incandescent. Okay, so I put the C-Log 3 on the other two cameras. So here's the R8. And I'm going to go into the menu also. Look at the lighting. So let's see. Yeah. Okay, it's on auto white balance. So let's see if I can change that to same thing. Turn to the light. Menu. Okay. And you didn't see a thing. Okay. I'm going to go to options. I'm going to put live demo mode, show you what I've done. So this is what I do. White balance, and then I put it on tungsten. Okay. That's what I put it on. And then it's on C-Log 3. Everything else is off. Then if I go into the R6 Mark II, I go to the menu. Now I notice it's darker, and I don't know why it's causing that, but oh, used the wrong one. There we go. Okay, and it's on the right setting. Okay, let's go back to the R8. All right. So you see, I'm kind of whitewashed. If you look at it, the brightness, temperature, tint, it's all on 0. Okay. And if I go to the R10, this is normal. Now, you can't select a LUT on this camera, but what you can do is this. Let's just try it. So I got some LUTs right here. Okay. Let's do this one. All right. I got the 65, which is the best cube. 65 to 60. Let's see what happens. So it's thinking right now. Do I look better? Sharpness is, it looks a little bit more noise. Am I correct? And it doesn't look sharp. So if I can go like, yeah, it's focusing, but still, it doesn't look sharp. Okay. And if I get rid of the LUT, do I look better? So this is the APS-C camera. So this is just a normal color rendition, and the clarity is at 0. So I can't mess with it since, well, I can't, okay? So if I go here, you can go down to clarity, okay? Yeah, it's all the way to the plus sign. So let's say I want to look prettier, okay? Do I look in focus? So anyway, this is right out of the camera. And if I select the LUT again, let's do 2020. It's thinking. You can see the little one. So I look really red, right? You know, you can do this. You can bring down saturation. You can, but it just doesn't look good on this camera. Now look at it. If I reset it, so it's not as whitewashed as the Canon R8. Now see what happens when I put on a LUT. Let's try this 709 first. I got it on BT 2020 on both cameras. I just want to see what happens. So it's thinking. There you go. A little bit different, right? And this is the 65. So the 17 is just the basic. 33 is pretty good. 65 is the max. All right. And so it's a little bit. I can do the temperature a little bit. I can do the gamma a little bit. You know, the color rendition, saturation. I can increase it, decrease it. You know, so I do look a little bit better than whitewash. So, and I should be looking over here. So let's select another LUT. And I'm going to use this 2021 now. So instead of 709, this is 2020. So I got a little bit more color. You notice that? One to the other. Now let's select another one. Oh, by the way, there's a 100 scale on here. I can scale it back. You know, to 50, 60, whatever. But then you can do the tint. You can do saturation. You can do the gamma. And make it more real-like. That's what I usually do. I just use the gamma. That, maybe the saturation down a little bit. And then the tint. Well, let's try the temperature first. Look good, and then tint up a little bit. You know, make it look better, all right? But look at the background. You want to see everything. And then if I just got rid of it, then you'll see me whitewash. So this is the 2020. I'm going to pick another one. And I've been looking at this one right here. So instead of 709, it's 2020. Okay? That's dynamic range. This is dynamic range. I don't know the difference. But I'm going to do it. It's a little bit different. So it's brighter. Okay? This one's much brighter. And it's on the R8. And I can reset everything to back to normal. And then like you can do the meter, just bring it down a little bit. And then you increase the gamma, make it darker, brightness, you can play with that, temperature, add a little there, saturation looks good, tint, maybe a little bit like that. See, saturation I usually put down, add a little bit. But anyway, it's just pressing or doing the C-Log. So let's go to Canon R6 Mark II. Okay, it's much more darker, and I am using the 35 millimeter f1.8. I don't know why I keep looking at the R10. I should be looking at this camera. So let's apply a LUT. And of course, if I reset it to 0, you can see. So select the LUT. Let's use the last one since this was kind of dark. Totally different, right? Just do the brightness a little bit. Gamma, we're going to do that. Make it a little bit like that. Temperature, looking good. Tint, maybe a little bit. Saturation. It's looking pretty good. And then when I zoom it in, all right, I'll bring it back a little bit. It looked pretty good, right? So the difference is, this is the way I look without a LUT, or with the LUT, okay, for the Canon R6 Mark II. This is the one for the R8. And I can do the same thing with the panning. I'll move it like that. So I like this other darker LUT, so I'm going to choose that. This 2020 to 709. Okay. And I can reset it. So I see I'm a little bit more redder. About 50%. It's just different. So I like the other one, 2020. And the reason why, folks, I got the camera set to 2020. Okay? So I'm going to pause this, and I'm going to change the cameras to BT709 on C-Log 3. Let's see what happens. Well, in fact, I'm not going to pause it. I'll just show you right now. So on the R8, and I'll bring the zoom down so you can see it. I'm going to go to the Canon log settings and change it from 2020 to 709. Okay? Menu, menu. So now, this is the 2020. Let's see what happens on this. Okay, you see more vivid color. That's the difference. And I do the saturation down to, like, let's say 10, minus 10. The gamma a little bit. 10. Let's do the tint. About 5, maybe 10 also. I don't want to be too green. Temperature. Like 10. And then the brightness, I can either bring it down, give it a little bit more dynamic range, or I can bring it up. But I'm going to leave that on 0, okay? Because as I bring up the brightness, you'll see that the window shades kind of disappear. So you don't want that. So that's just using this wider version LUT on the R8, okay? So on the R6, Mark II, okay, I picked the 2021, but let's do a 709 and see what happens here. So that, bring it back down to 0 so you can see the menu properly. C-Log 3. And I can do 709 menu. Do I look better? Can you tell the difference? Reset. See how dark it is? I just want to make sure I'm going to do this. Canon log 3709. See what happens. It looks the same, doesn't it? I didn't see a difference, did you? Like it's already in the camera. Brightness, gamma, brighter, saturation, tint, temperature. You know, you can do all that. So the 709, basically it's already there. Okay. So I'm going to close that up. Go back to reset. Now I'm going to go to this one right here. 2020. So I'm a little bit redder, a little bit more vivid color. I'm not going to do anything. I'm just trying to show you what you can do. Okay, so it's a little bit more of it's not as vivid. It's more of a neutral color. Okay, which I like neutral. You know, I don't want too much vividness. And like I said, you can do the gamma, you can do the brightness a little bit, you can do the temperature, saturation. That looks good. The tint, I just leave that. But it just shows you what you can do with different things. Last but not least, okay, I'm going to turn off the LUT. I'm going to go back into my R6 Mark II, and I'm going to turn off Canon log 3. Okay, there you have it. Reset it. Now I'm going to do the brightness. I'm going to do the gamma. Or just leave that 0. And the temperature. Cool or warm. I'm going to leave that at 0 too. So basically it's just the brightness. And then do a little tint. That's my skin tone. Saturation. Yeah, I'll leave that at 0. The gamma. See that 0. So the only thing I did was the brightness all the way and then a little tint. Okay. See what happens when I zoom it in. Compare this with the R8, which has a LUT. Okay. I think I got it on the last one. I want to make sure. Okay, that looks better. All right. And the same thing. So it's too bright on the R8, but do a little temperature, a little bit warm, a little tint. Saturation looks good. Gamma. Put a little color in there. So you want to get that rose cheeks. There we go. That looks good, doesn't it? And then on the brightness, I could lower it a little bit. So anyway, it's just to show you what between a LUT is and if you do it right out of the camera. R6 Mark II. I'll bring this this back a little bit too. I think I look sharper this way, and if I look at the clarity, let's do this again. Yeah, it's on 0, and it's sharp. Okay, but this is the 35 millimeter compared to the 28. All right, that's the only difference. And I have it on neutral, which I like. And if I did, we can do that real quick too. Show you the different colors. So neutral, faithful. So this is the faithful. And it looks a little bit more grainy and stuff. And I look a little bit more redder. All right. Of course I can. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. And then I'm going to do another color. So neutral. Okay. So it looks pretty good. But you notice that the ISO is trying to figure out how it looks. So it looks okay. If I do this and bring this up, so it gets a little bit brighter, okay? And if I can reset it, it looks pretty sharp, doesn't it? So I can do something with the ISO and fix that. But anyway, it's just to show you a quick thing on this recording. I know I've been going for 20 minutes, but just want to show you how I can apply a LUT using Ecamm with, I would say, the Canon Studio. The problem is that when I play a 10-bit video, it chops too much. So this computer can't handle it. It's great on YouTube for videos and stuff, but it's taxing on using Ecamm. So anyhow, I just want to show you that. And thank you for watching. If you like this type of content, please give me a like, subscribe. Any questions or comments, please write it down below. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that this is out of live demo mode. So now I'm on the full screen. How do I look? And I do have the change in cameras, and they do apply the LUT. Okay? So I'll bring this up, put me here. This is the R8, as you can see, and it's not, let me fix that. You can't see it, but 28 millimeter, all right? And if I go to the next one, I got to change this one too. Okay. When you do that, you got to unlock it. Then you do that, then you save it, okay? It's there. Then you lock it, and go here, and I'll use the live demo mode. Okay, you unlock it, you pause this, go in here, and you want to put in the 35 millimeter. That's there. That should be 28. This is 16 millimeter. So you can see the difference. Rotating cameras are 10. And I can bring that up too. All right. So you see, it's not as clear, okay? I may have to put the zoom lens on here. But that's the R10. The R8. It looks pretty sharp, but it has a LUT to it. Or the R6 Mark II, which doesn't have a LUT. But if I go like this, move this here, do a little bit of brightness. There we go. So anyway, that's what I want to show you. Thank you for watching. I'll go right here to the R8. No overheating, folks. Okay, and I do have it overexposed by 2. So let's try something else out. And I'll move it all the way to 0. There you go. Now it's matching the R6 II. Almost. And I raised it to what? 25. R8, I can do the same thing. Reset everything. Yeah, 25. R8 without a LUT. No, with the LUT. An R6 II without a LUT. And it's changing the ISO. It just takes a while. So, do I look better this way? You see, I'm kind of dark, so I can do the gamma a little bit. Or, do I apply the LUT? Go to the R8. Pretty neat, huh? Let me do the gamma a little bit too. Anyway, thank you for watching. Just remember to stay safe, keep smiling, and until next time, I'll see you then. Goodbye, folks. It's around here somewhere. Close it. Here it is.